Hi everyone. Well, due to the lack of any Derby County news this month, I searched around for another sport to chat about in the opening segment of my monthly podcast. Someone suggested rugby. I bet you can't guess which region they were from, but I decided to stick to football. The Euros 24 to be precise, which kicked off last Friday with a fairly one-sided game between Scotland and Germany. But of course the real action started on Sunday evening when England thrashed the mighty Serbia 1-0 and now look destined to win the competition before my next podcast in July. I might even try and make it up to Glasgow to record that one. But you have to wonder though, in 4 weeks' time, England could have finally ended the drought, which began a few years before I was even born. Anyway, the next two England games I will be watching in a Spanish bar, so whatever happens, I will certainly be enjoying the next stage of the journey, whether it ultimately ends in success or failure for my national team. This month's diversity theme is Pride Month. If you haven't listened to last week's podcast by Michael, I would encourage you to do so. Michael provides a fascinating and sometimes shocking insight into being gay and how it impacted his school days, his working life and his personal life. Some of the stories he shares provide an excellent reminder as to why our diversity drive is so important here in Motus Commercials. And so last Friday in Scunthorpe we held a celebration for Sukhdev Singh, the regional director of our northern region, who will be retiring at the end of June following a long and successful career with Motus Commercials, which began way back in 1989. The evening provided a great opportunity for colleagues past and present and customers to pay tribute to Sukhdev, and my thanks to Emma and Jacqueline for the tremendous effort they put into organising this event. It really was a fantastic evening. Before I go on to the business update, there's one more thing I'm going to briefly talk about, and that's fasting. I've never done it, but the more I hear about the benefits of it, I think I'm just going to give it a go. And those of you who know me will know I have a ferocious appetite. And so for me, the challenge of fasting is more about breaking the habit than depriving myself of any substance. It would be good to hear any tips or advice if any of you fast yourselves. I haven't really devised a firm plan yet, but I will. I've been thinking about it for a while and I love a challenge. So I'll update you in my next podcast. From a business perspective, we are now 11 months into the current financial year. Parts, service and body shop operations all continue to deliver year-on-year growth, which is excellent news. And the encouraging signs we saw in March and April continued in May for our truck sales business. And this trend looks set to continue in June. And so whilst we still have a sizable challenge ahead of us, there are encouraging signs for our truck sales business. And again, in July, it's going to be a busy podcast by the sound of it, but I will provide a more detailed insight once the financials and key stats are all completed for our year end. The backdrop for the truck industry remains tough, but our business is resilient, and we are fortunate to have so many great colleagues who remain committed to providing the highest level of service excellence, both to each other and to our customers. And I thank you for that, because it's more important now than ever before. I wish you all the best and look forward to catching up with you on my travels around the country. But first of all, I'm off to Spain for a couple of weeks to watch England. See you soon.